Hey guys, welcome to my newest video for today, October 26th. Like I said, sorry that the video is a day late, but I went back to work for almost the first time in almost a month on Tuesday night. Oh, my back was in so much pain. I could barely even stand. It took me a full 24 hours to get over it. And that's what I did to cause me not being able to work, was pull a bunch of muscles in my back. So, but yeah, that's why I wasn't here yesterday, but I put the notice up saying the video will be up today, and now it is 5:30 because I've done so much running around to do. The running around I was supposed to do Wednesday, I had to do today. So, but that's not why you're here. You're here for week 5 of the horror marathon. So I'm just gonna get started. So this is everything from October 28th to the 24th. So first one on October 28th, number 138, Reanimator. I tend to watch this on October 18th because that's when this came out back in 85. And then I watch, for 139, watched Halloween Curse of Michael Myers. Doesn't matter which cut I watch. I don't like either of them anymore. I'm gonna turn down my TV. Okay, number 140, I watched the original Day of the Dead, which is my favorite George Romero zombie movie. Number 141, I watched Freddy vs. Jason. And last one of that night, I watched the original House of Wax. I gotta flip the page over. Okay, so for October 19th, 143, I watched The Exorcist. Number 144, I watched Halloween H2O. And then 145, was gonna go see this in the theater, but with me being sick, I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna, and I didn't go back to work till yesterday. I decided, nah, I'm not even gonna go see They Live, which sucks because I really wanted to see this and They Live in the theater, and that was Evil Dead 2. Okay, 146, I actually own it now because I bought it a day after I watched it. I watched it on Amazon Prime. In the trailers, we all admit it looks goofy as fuck. But then you watch it and you're like, whoa, this is good. This is the only other 8 out of 10 for a first time viewing this horror marathon, and that was Megan. I was thinking I was in another Child's Play kind of rip off because I know the Child's Play remake deals with AI and that stuff, but I was like, wow, this is so good. To the point that when I went out the next day, I actually bought it. So there we go. Megan, 8.5 out of 10. I definitely recommend it. For 146. 147, I rented from the library, and that was a first time viewing as well. Scooby-Doo Return to Zombie Island. Didn't like this as much as the first movie, gave it a 5 out of 10. So, you know, kind of a bummer. I thought this would be as good as the first movie, but it wasn't. Okay, and then I ended that night 148 with Corpse Bride. I'm gonna, from the Tim Burton collection, gonna put that there because I watched something else from that set. October 20th, didn't get a lot watched and all rewatches, and first one, 149, was the remake to Friday the 13th, which now everybody seems to really hate, and I'm like, why? I love this remake, but hey, if we all like the same shit, then we'd all be fucking boring. So 150, I watched Army of Darkness. 151, I watched the original Maniac. I do like the original, but I actually prefer the remake. And number 152, I've stated a couple of times, this is my favorite horror film sequel of all time, and that is The Conjuring 2. And that was it for the 20th. Was it the... Okay, and then the 21st, didn't get a lot watched this day because that night my dad and I went up to Capilano Suspension Bridge in Vancouver because they had a thing called Canyon Frights where they deck out the whole area, the suspension bridge, the tree top adventures, everything in Halloween lights. I could tell you, for someone who is overweight, I was able to do all those trails, but god damn, my calves were killing me the next day. I could barely walk. I'm just a glutton for punishment, I guess. But it was Halloweeny. I wanted to do it since the walk around Fort Langley was such a disappointment last year. I'm not going to get into why it was a disappointment, but I found out a lot of people in the group felt the same way, so I was like, oh, okay. But so that day, October 21st, I watched Halloween Resurrection. We'll just move on. And then I watched, well, Bride of Reanimator for 154. 155, I watched Underwater, which has become a favorite more with every subsequent viewing. I think a lot of people dissed this, and myself included, because Kristen Stewart was in it. But then when we watched it, we were like, whoa, this is good. And every viewing since, it just keeps going up and up and up. Like, I didn't give it a low rating. I gave it a 7 out of 10, and now I give it an 8 out of 10. That's how enjoyable this movie is. And ended that night, 156. This was Underwater and this were after we came home from Capilano, and that was Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, with that really cool lenticular cover. Okay, so October 22nd, I watched, for 157, I watched the Rob Zombie Halloween, and then I watched its sequel, and then 159, I watched the Monster Squad. You can't go wrong with the Monster Squad. So, and 160 was the first time viewing, watched on the website Soap Today, because that's the only way I could watch this movie. And I finally watched the original, I say original, the 1986 Trick or Treat. I had so much fun with this. I've loved the soundtrack for the last couple of years, but the DVD is too expensive on eBay. Expensive on eBay. Same as with Amazon. And I hear there's a Blu-ray coming. Don't quote me on that. But I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought it was a fun time. So, yay. And 161 was also a first time viewing. I watched on Shudder. Finally watched The Prowler. It was okay. I love the gore because it's Tom Savini, but the story I was kind of like, meh. I gave it a 7 out of 10, but it's something where I don't know if I'll watch again, but the gore in it was phenomenal. Yay. So that was it for October 22nd. October 23rd, started that day with Annabelle Creation, definitely the best one out of the Annabelle films. And then 163, I watched Beyond Reanimator. Oh, excuse me. And then, oh, that's why I needed to burp. I'm sorry, guys. 164, Prophecy, the monster movie. This is one of the first films that was filmed up my way. If you've watched this movie and you see them driving this way, but at the beginning you see this big yellow building, that's Fort Langley. That's only like a 10-minute drive away from my house. And that yellow building is still there. The chevron, on the other hand, is way long gone. And then 165, another first time viewing, 7 out of 10. Definitely enjoyed this more for the actress in it, and that is Trilogy of Terror. The little Zuzu character, really, I don't like that thing. I will be checking out the sequel because I do own the sequel. I will keep this even though it was a 7 out of 10 rating. And 166 from the Paul Naschy collection, I watched Night of the Werewolf, which unfortunately is my favorite out of the entire set. Okay, and then for October 24th, I watched, for 167, I watched the Evil Dead remake, one of the best remakes ever. I think on my top 5, number 3, I'm not sure because I can't choose between House on Haunted Hill and Maniac as my favorite horror film remake. I go back and forth all the time. So 168, I watched Hatchet. 169, back to the Tim Burton collection, I watched Beetlejuice. And then for 170, I watched Dark House with Jeffrey Combs. If you haven't seen this, I definitely recommend it. It's a fun haunted house movie. And then ended that night at 171 with Lucio Fulci's Beyond. I've only seen 2 of his films. I've seen this and Zombie. I actually like this more than Zombie. So I only bought this a couple months ago. Found it at the one place I go to, Willow Video, and it's the old Anchor Bay edition, so, and only $13.99, so I was like, fuck it. Because like I said, I'm not anal about getting the DVD or Blu-ray anymore, and as some of you know, I'm not on the 4K bandwagon. I don't need to upgrade all that and all the ones over there. I don't need to do that again. I did that for VHS and Blu-ray. I'm not doing it for 4K. So, but if I ever find the Blu-ray for this at a good price, because it's like $52, I'll pick it up. As for now, I'm happy with the DVD. So yeah, guys, that is it. Again, sorry for the late, just move this over, late video, but like I said, if you work standing up for a long time and you haven't done it in a month and your back just decides to scream at you, like even getting up and walking for 5 minutes yesterday was painful. So but yeah, guys, that is it. My next video will definitely be up on November 1st, where the marathon is over. I have a feeling I will beat my record of 208 horror films watched. We shall see. There's still 5 days left, but I mean, it could happen. But let me know what you guys think of these titles, which ones you like, which ones you don't like. What do you think of The Prowler, Trick or Treat, 1986, Trilogy of Terror? And what did you guys think of Megan? I think that was the biggest shocker I've watched. And ironically, so far, that and The Night Strangler. Night Strangler or Night Stalker? Oh, it's Night Stalker. Are the only 2 first-time viewings that have gotten 8 out of 10s. Everything else has been 7.5 or 7 or lower. We know how I feel about VHS. But yeah, guys, that is about it. Don't know what else to say. But even with the few films I've watched yesterday, I'm at 175. Oh my god, I have no life, but that's okay. So until November 1st, guys, when the final week will be up, I hope you all have a great week. Have a great and safe Halloween. Watch a shitload of movies. And of course, as always, like, comment, please subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye, guys.